The fun part of Greenbuild is, first, you get to meet all your friends, all your fellow leaders who are just not doing enough to change the world, but they are transforming the world.
So the circular economy is really an amazing aspiration to figure out how we can reconfigure the entire economy to be more sustainable, regenerative and equitable to all humans. And that's why awareness is really important. I don't think awareness is just about knowing something, it's really about feeling it. And what we feel is that we have huge problems that we need to tackle, but we have the opportunity, the technology, the smarts and the capability to solve those issues.
Healthy, sustainable space is really important, I think, not only for us, but for our sons and daughters. So just 3 weeks ago I talked to the mayor of Bilbao, and I was really interested about cleaning up the river next door. I'm living right next to the river, which is, thanks to floods, kind of full of trash. And I think we really need to collaborate on that topic.
If you think that buildings, if they are net zero, which is something we're all trying to achieve in many parts of the world, that if that lends itself to resiliency, then maybe some of the people in places like Mozambique right now would actually have power, because they wouldn't be relying on all the systems and the infrastructure that have been completely destroyed.
If you want to drive changes, you can't do it on your own. You need other stakeholders to be convinced about the common aim, whether it's materials or the health within the buildings. You still need to convince people. That's why stakeholder engagement is key.
Circular economy to me is the opposite of linear economy, which is we make the best out of our resources and we try to minimize the waste. And why is that? We know that the resources one day they will end, so we're trying to minimize this loss and make them last as long as we can.
For me, education is very important in this process of sustainability, because I see a lot of people cares about it. We see it here in the Greenbuild conference, but you usually have the problem that the people don't really know what sustainability means. So I think we have to focus on that issue, because if the people know what sustainability means, what the energy is, what the materials are, what we address in these topics, then they could understand better what we are doing.
For me, sustainability has to be adapted for each area, for each population, and the social aspects are really important.
Well, I think education is really a crucial part. You have to, well, it starts with even your kids. I have two kids, two girls actually, from 4 to 9 years old. And I think education really starts back then. You have to educate your kids to that they have to grow up in life differently. We saw, I think, 3 or 4 times on this convention, we saw Greta Thunberg. She's really making a point, I think, and she's showing us grown-ups what we have to think about.
Green buildings to me mean hope for the future because of the climate crisis. They help to address and hopefully will help incredibly in reducing the concerns about the climate crisis. And it also means that my children will have healthy spaces to live in.
I chose circular economy because at the European level it's one of the 2 major topics. We have circular economy and we have everything that's related to climate change and the mitigation out of it. And I think that the built environment has a key role to play in delivering towards these objectives. And that's the reason also that I'm here at Greenbuild with someone from the European Commission to ask them to present their new methodology, which is levels. And levels is something that the European Commission came up with, I think, 1 year or 2 ago, which is the vision of the European Commission on what sustainable buildings should be.
Well, biophilic design is a connection to nature and the use of elements of nature in design. And it's not anything new. It's something that architects like Frank Lloyd Wright have done, or Gaudi in Spain, Barcelona, for example. You see biophilic design in the streets. But now we know that it impacts our health, especially in insides of buildings. But there are also others, like retailers or hotel sectors, that have used biophilic design to create placemaking. And so now it's something that is also going into cities.
The most important thing that you will notice at Greenbuild is it's an opportunity for everyone to learn, educate, share, and care. So this year's theme is about caring, sharing, particularly focused on human health and wellness, because green buildings are all about people.